Hello viewers, you're watching Dukascopy TV with me, Natalie MacDonald. Up next in the studio to discuss technology within the financial services industry is Glen Millar of ASMA. Glen, thank you so much for coming in today.
My pleasure, good morning.
Okay, so firstly, to get us started, what are the key trends you're noticing of late with regards to technology within the financial services industry?
Big question. Let's size it a little bit in terms of small and medium-sized and larger organisations. Over the last few years, I've been mainly working with small, mediums, 5 to 15 people, and the big trend there has been about outsourcing and cloud computing. So what you're seeing is that whereas before firms were responsible for their own data, their own management of that data, the implementation of systems, they're relying on third parties to do that, with issues around trust, due diligence on the providers, particularly in the financial services sector, where your data is your business. I suppose the issue there is around ensuring that you choose the appropriate partner and you get the value for money that you want and deserve. On a larger scale, obviously people have in-house systems, in-house IT, and there are concerns there about hacking and so on, which we'll maybe cover later on in the interview. But you very often have your IT department that's concerned with protecting data, improving business efficiency, and supporting the CEO. Many CEOs are not IT literate, and traditionally IT has been looked at as a cost on the balance sheet or on the profit and loss account to try and minimise. But in actual fact, it can be a path to value add and improved business efficiency if it's well used.
You mentioned there hacking, and cybersecurity is something that has been discussed a lot of late. Is this a concern that you see amongst your clients within their everyday activities?
I think our clients are very, very concerned about maintaining control over data, particularly in Switzerland, where we've had some very scary thefts of data and the purchase of stolen data, which is very worrying. And obviously firms are very conscious of that and take the necessary steps storing information in Switzerland. And that's where this, the outsource provider, you need to be sure that your data is indeed secure. You also have a bit more of a behavioural thing with social media and the like now, where information is easily stolen. It's not enough to glue the USB port on the computer these days, to try and keep. It's almost like a cultural thing. It comes down to selection of individuals, people with the right mindset. And in a smaller organisation, perhaps it's easier to keep an eye on your staff than in a large bank with hundreds of employees.
Now, part of your experience comes from helping clients to harness technology in order to improve their businesses. Just interested to know, as we sort of begin to see the green shoots of recovery, how are businesses repositioning technology services budget-wise in order to expand their business and grow?
I think there are opportunities for firms to take advantage and restart or kick off the projects that have been perhaps frozen for the last 2 or 3 years, in the light of the difficult economic conditions that we've had. A couple of examples, I've seen some good risk and compliance software that's recently come onto the market that allows firms to comply with the new regulation world, AIFMD, Collective Investment Schemes Act here in Switzerland, FATCA. Although there's no substitute for having your data properly managed and knowing where it is. And in actual fact, sitting here, if I go back 10 or 15 years, the whole story was about getting your data clean and managing your data to enable you to improve your processes and automate many of the things that you were doing. And in the last 15 years, we're seeing it again, but it's the same old issues. Is an apple in this system and on your feeder system, and until you iron that out or include that as part of your project, you'll have difficulty getting the full benefits, and you'll be forever putting sticking plaster solutions around it. So those are some of the things that I think that are coming along.
You touched there on compliance and regulation. These are items you've spoken with us about previously, but do you think these changes to legislation are going to stifle this industry? How do you see this relationship playing out in the coming months and even years, really?
Well, yeah, if it's overzealous or badly implemented or overzealously implemented, it can cause problems, and if it's disproportionate, it can cause problems. And I think there'll probably be a period where, the regulators are for firms that are newly subject, particularly here in Switzerland, firms that are newly subject to the Collective Investment Schemes Act, there will be a period of learning. But I'm not too, depressed or concerned about that. I think short term, yes, we'll have some problems. Medium term, long term, what will happen? The pendulum will swing back the other way, and some firms will have taken their eye off the ball. Some regulators will have missed things. At the moment, it's regulation's a hot topic. You can't get away from it. Let's just see in 5 years' time whether the conditions are such that we could have another Madoff, or thefts of data, or difficulties with keeping IT under wraps.
Glenn, thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate your views today.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
That's all we've got time for right now. Thank you very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye for now.